So a little while ago, I did a fun video making the Has-Been hotel characters into Maximals and Predacons, and I figured, you know what? Let's do a sequel to that involving characters from RWBY. So yeah, this is just another dumb, fun video because I like to have those every so often. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get started with the video. So we're going to start with what I consider like the maximal side, all the, hero characters. Now, also, I'm not going to do every single character, just to let you guys know. There's so many characters in RWBY. I think even RWBY forgets that they have that many characters. So yeah, I'm not going to do everyone, and you guys, that also leaves open to characters you would like to make into Maximals and Predacons. So yeah, just comment below and let me know. But and also let me know what you think the alt modes for these characters would be if they were Maximals and Predacons. Anyway, let's get started with, of course, RWBY themselves. Starting off with Ruby Rose herself. Now, obviously, RWBY is her whole semblance is based around speed, and I kind of figured it would be kind of fun just make her a cheetah. Like her alt mode would be a cheetah or something with an animal that has a lot of speed to them. So either cheetah or peregrine falcon. I was kind of leaning more towards peregrine falcon, just because I feel like also it's a little more elegant, and there is like elegance in RWBY when she traverses using her semblance. So kind of leaning more, I think about it. I'm going to lean towards a peregrine falcon for her alt mode. Anyway, next up, Yang. Yang was a fun one because initially I did have an idea, and then I thought about it more, and I was like, "Oh, this makes so much sense." Also, I've been watching Prehistoric Planet Ice Age, and that also kind of helped. So Yang's alt mode is a prehistoric mammal, but not just any prehistoric mammal. Yang's alt mode would be, I would have it be an Arctotherium, which is the largest cave bear we know, standing at almost 14 to 16 feet tall. These animals were almost 2 tons, and were one of the reasons why. Also fun, not so fun fact. It was one of the reasons, or rather, it's a haunting fact. It's one of the reasons why it took so long for early settlers, like early natives, traveling into the Americas from Siberia. It took them so long to colonize most of the country that they did, was because they kept running it into competition with these bears. Yeah. So yeah, I wanted an animal that was big and powerful, and initially I was going to go with like a lioness, which also could have worked, but I was thinking, nah, Yang is more bear. She definitely gives more of a bear vibe. Also, like, she's supposed to be based off of Goldilocks, so also it also adds there. So Yang's beast mode would be a Arctotherium. Next up, we have Blake. Blake's easy. It's a Black Panther. It's a pretty easy one. She's a cat. Black Panther, or Black Leopard if you want to be technical, because there are no such things as Black Panthers. It's just a leopard with really dark melanomen. So yeah, but we'll just say it's a panther. Finally, for Weiss. Weiss was another one I was kind of thinking one of these two could work, and I think this one works more. And I was initially thinking Arctic fox, but then I thought, no, how about Arctic owl? Mostly because Weiss is she's the intelligent one of the group. She's the planner, the strategist, and owls are wise. Also, I cannot I can see her with a bird alt mode, so I gave her the Arctic owl beast mode. Anyway, so going through a few more, I'm going to go through some random characters on the hero side of RWBY, if you'll indulge me. So next up, we're going to go with Lee. Lee, I was thinking a Bengal tiger. His fighting style is very inspired by Tiger-esque, last I remember. And I think it could work. Tigers are wise, they're powerful, and Lee in his own right is very powerful. So Tiger. Next up, Penny. Penny's alt mode would be fun because I kind of imagine, because she is a robot. I was kind of thinking maybe kind of like make it like something akin to like Noble Savage or Transmutate, where her alt mode is like just a biological form. So maybe something like like something like her alt mode is a vehicle. Like it's some kind of like her alt mode is a vehicle, like a tank or something. Like she can't transform into beasts; she can only transform into vehicles. So she's literally the only quote unquote Autobot of the group. Anyway, Velvet, that one's another easy one. Jackrabbit. For Coco, Coco was an interesting one because for Coco, I was kind of thinking something like, because her whole thing is like fashion and also like being a character who is who's very it's flat, she's flashy and whatnot. And I already did Peacock for Velvet. For Velvet in the Has Been Hotel video. But then I thought like maybe they can we can do something else with her. I kind of figured maybe we can do something a little more flashy in terms of like a different animal and a different species altogether. So I kind of thought it would be kind of fun to do to have it be that it's an opposite. Like she's very flat. She's very flashy, and she's also. I think people forget Coco is also a bit of a powerhouse in her own right. So I was kind of thinking, wouldn't it be fun if we made her like a completely different animal that you wouldn't expect, someone with a lot of brawn to them, and that being, I kind of thought it'd be fun to make her a Triceratops, mainly because freaking chair. Mainly because, like, Triceratops, they have that very ornate, those very ornate head crests. They also have the horns, and they just will demolish you, much like Coco does. Anyway, next up, for another random character, we're going to talk about Sun Wukong. Sun, I think, Sun was a fun one because I was like, I kind of want to make him, go with the ape kind of thing, with the ape connotation. My pick for him was a tamarin monkey, like a tamarin. They're fast, they're very intelligent, and also these guys can also be pretty fun loving. So a tamarin was kind of a fun pick for him. Anyway, what else was I gonna? Who else did I have? Because I had a few. I was trying to think. That's the thing. There's so many like characters, so it's going to be hard. It's hard to like properly like pick out ones. And let's actually move on to the Predacon side of things now, starting with Salem. Salem's alt mode would literally be just a big dragon. Like her alt mode would be a dragon, mostly because she's the embodiment of evil, and in most fairy tales, the bad guy turns into a dragon anyway. So just make her a dragon. Cinder was an interesting one. Speaking of evil, like Cinder was an interesting one. My pick for Cinder was a fascinating one because this one is a phoenix. Mostly because her whole thing is based around fire, and she did kind of have a rebirth from this weak little girl to a monster. And also the idea of making a phoenix something that is seen with heroism, a Predacon, figure that'd be a neat idea. So, Phoenix for Cinder. Next up, Watts. Watts was a tough one because he's all based around technology. Watts, I would probably say Watts was a fun one, but I was kind of thinking he'd probably be like some kind of he'd probably be like no like since he is a thinking he is a scientist and whatnot. And what kind of animal would we associate intelligence with? But also kind of also an asshole. I kind of figured, how about make him a chimpanzee? Like his beast mode would be a chimp. But then I thought, nah, that doesn't really work. So then I was kind of thinking, well, what if we made it something like you wouldn't expect? Something with a little more bite to it. And then I thought, yeah, okay, Watts' alt mode would be a Utah Raptor. They were intelligent, they were big, they were fierce, and also the idea of just Watts turning into a feathered dinosaur, like that would be kind of like like he's all like proper and stuff, and when he gets all angry, he just goes, Watts terrorize, and just turns into a raptor to go at you. Yeah. Anyway, next up, we have Hazel. Hazel's alt mode would be a Gigantopithecus, a giant orangutan. Big, strong, powerful. Hazel was an easy one. I was initially thinking gorilla, but then I was like, nah, let's go bigger. Gigantopithecus. Tyrion's also easy. It's a scorpion. But I would add that I would actually have Tyrion be a triple changer. Tyrion would actually be his alt mode would be a scorpion, and his other alt mode would be a snake of some, like probably a pit viper of some kind. Why? Because he's very snake-like in his own right, and he also just screams triple changer to me. As for Ironwood, I know he's not. He is considered a villain now because he's just out of his gourd. Ironwood's alt mode, I would have it be a polar bear. Big, aggressive, all him. I don't know, like who else I would have. Like those just really are the ones that come out, speak out to me. So you guys tell me in the comments below. What kind of beast modes would you give the characters to RWBY? Whether they be animal, dinosaur, mythical, comment below, let me know. Like I said, I didn't name every single character, but yeah, that's just kind of the fun of it. That just kind of leaves more off for you guys. But anyway, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time, Multiverse.